Welcome to New Fast Food. I've got a huge Taco Bell episode for you today. We're going to start by talking about a trendy new test item that's being tested on both coasts. And we'll cover leaked information about the next items coming later this month to all Taco Bells nationwide. Then, we'll talk about new details regarding the return of the Mexican pizza. When will it be back, and will it be back for good this time? Plus, I've got rumors of more test items that could be coming to select Taco Bells very soon. Folks, today's episode is produced in partnership with the Living Moss community, of which I am a member. Living Moss is the source for all things Taco Bell. You can find community links to the website, subreddit, and Discord in the description below. Now, let's get started, and we need to start with a newly announced test item over at Taco Bell. This one is a collaboration with the uber trendy Milk Bar Cake Shop. These are the Strawberry Bell Truffles. They're available at just one Taco Bell location in Irvine, but two Milk Bar locations, one in LA and one in New York. I was actually surprised that they're selling these at Milk Bar at all. That's kind of cool that they're available at both brands. Now, at first glance, they look just like a different flavor of Taco Bell's Cinnabon Delights. In fact, they look extremely close to the Captain Crunch Delights that Taco Bell offered way back in 2015. They're actually not, or at least they claim, not to be, but who knows how they actually taste. Now, despite these being a collaboration item, really the only thing Taco Bell about them is that they're rolled in taco shell crumbs. So they are, I think, more Milk Bar than Taco Bell. But that's kind of cool, especially since you can get them at a Taco Bell. And there's, plenty of other interesting aspects to like about these. The rest of the outside coat is a sweet and salty strawberry and sweet corn coating. And then the actual cake part is vanilla cake with bits of strawberry that's then soaked in strawberry milk. That's the strangest part to me. I think that means that they take the finished cake, soak it in milk so that it becomes all soggy. Then they form the soaked parts in the balls. I'm not really sure how they fill them with the filling afterwards. But, like I said, that's the weirdest part to me. Anyways, the filling is described as a sweet corn fudge. And that is my favorite part. I've never had a corn fudge before, but I do bet that it's delicious. I've had other dessert items that were made from corn that I didn't expect to like, and they were all delicious. One other thing to keep in mind about these is that they are truffles by name only, or by shape and name only, I should say. The name cake truffles actually refer to the shape rather than them containing actual truffles as an ingredient. For me, I wish they weren't strawberry flavored. I don't particularly care for strawberry flavored items. However, I am willing to give them a try, if only for that sweet corn fudge filling. That filling sounds to die for. It better be good though, because the price point for these is not particularly cheap. They're testing them at 2 for $3. Now, for comparison, the Captain Crunch Delights, when they were available, were 2 for $1. And I think, rather than inflation, I think the higher price here is mainly due to this being a collaboration with a luxury brand, Milk Bar. At 2 for $3, I think that's still not bad. That's $1.50 each, and if you want to make a different comparison, Cake Pops at Starbucks are $2 to $3 a pop, and actually Milk Bar sells cake truffles just on the regular menu. Those are $2 to $3 per ball as well. So, and those ones aren't even as elaborate as the Strawberry Bell Truffles here at the collaboration with Taco Bell. Now, for example, this one here is a flavor that they're offering. Milk Bar is offering right now. It's their Strawberry Shortcake truffles. And it's basically actually the same thing as the Taco Bell collaboration version, except without the corn fudge in the middle. And of course not rolled in the taco shell crumbs. So for me, given the choice between those two, I'd take the Taco Bell collaboration version hands down. And they're about half the price. So actually, I don't have a problem with the 2 for $3 price. I think it's more than fair and maybe a good deal even. Now, this is another one of those 2-week tests that Taco Bell likes to do, which I think are basically more of a publicity stunt than an actual product test. They did the same thing with the Cheez-It Tostada. Those, in my opinion, generated a lot more buzz than these are currently. And I said that those had a pretty good chance of eventually being released nationwide. These Strawberry Bell Truffles, I'm quite a bit less optimistic on. if I had to rate on a confidence scale of how likely I think they'd be to come out nationwide, I'd give the Cheez-It tostada a 6.5, and I'd give these cake balls maybe like a 2.5. I just don't see the nationwide demand for this type of product, especially with the luxury brand collaboration and the higher price point. So, if you want to try these and you're in the LA or New York area, head down to that Taco Bell or those Milk Bar locations ASAP. Like I said, it's a 2-week test. I think it's actually already been testing for about a week, so the clock's ticking, dude. These are the locations here on the screen. I won't be able to try them. I'm not in that area, so if you do, let me know how they are. All right, let's move on. Taco Bell is getting ready to bring back some very popular items nationwide. This one is one of my favorite Taco Bell burritos of all time. It's the grilled cheese burrito, and it's coming back August 18th. This is a leaked image of the new menu board. I love the grilled cheese burrito. I think it's unique, and it really delivers on the promise of the gimmick. That gimmick, of course, being that they place that layer of cheese on top of the burrito, then they take the grill and sear the cheese down on top. It sounds and looks a lot messier than it actually is. When I've had this burrito, I didn't have any issues with it sticking to my fingers or anything like that. So yeah, I love that they're bringing this back. Depending on what type of meat you get, it's going to cost you anywhere between $3.50 and $6.50. It's more of a premium burrito than it is a budget burrito. One thing I must note here from this leaked image is that the new photos that they have for this look a lot less appealing, in my opinion, than they used to. See, here's an old promo photo, and if you look at them side by side, it definitely looks like the new photo has less cheese, and the cheese that is there is just really sloppy. I don't know if there's anything to read into that. I doubt that there's any actual change to the product and how it's being made. I just find that interesting. Not often do you see photos come out that are less appealing than the old photos. As a company, you always want to put your best foot forward, and if I were Taco Bell, I would fire the photographer who took that picture. This might be a small thing, but it's something to keep an eye on to see if future Taco Bell products come out with similarly sloppy and unappealing photos. Alright, so the grilled cheese burrito is coming back August 18th, but there's another item that's leaked that's going to be making a comeback in September. That item is sure to generate even more excitement, and that's the return of the Mexican pizza. Again. Yes, as you likely already know, the Mexican pizza was retired from Taco Bell menus in 2020. It came back out of retirement earlier this year and was supposed to be back for good, but it quickly sold out in a matter of weeks. Now, there's a lot of people, including myself, who have speculated that the shortage of Mexican pizzas was staged, that they planned to sell out the whole time just to generate some publicity. I still believe that that's the case, even though Taco Bell would never confirm it. Either way, Taco Bell plans to bring back the Mexican pizza for good on September 15th. That's the leaked date from livingmoss.com, but Taco Bell's official Instagram account posted this photo, so it does look like it's very unofficially official. September 15th is, over a month away, so there hasn't been any promotional announcements yet, how they're going to push the Mexican pizza again. But I would expect that the Mexican pizza musical, at the very least, that was supposed to star Dolly Parton and Doja Cat, that was canceled earlier this summer when they, had the sell out of the Mexican pizza the first time. I would expect that they would bring that back. And I actually made a video back earlier this summer about how if they did stage this whole thing, they did it very smartly as to not waste a lot of advertising money. I want to know, if this Mexican pizza shortage was indeed fabricated, how successful do you think that it was? They definitely generated a lot of free publicity, that's what I was pointing to. But do you think that free publicity was worth it? Or do you think they'd be better off at just bringing them back and selling them this whole time? Again, that's all assuming that the shortage was fake. Also, I also want to know, are you as excited about the Mexican pizza now as you were the first time they brought it back? Now, like I said, there's still over a month before it comes back again, so there's certainly time for the hype to build back up. But at this moment, I'm not feeling anywhere near the same level as anticipation, from the general public as I was feeling, just a few months ago. And I'm thinking that's because the general public is likely confused by the constant coming and going of the Mexican pizza. But let me know what you think. Are you as excited for the Mexican pizza to return for good, or has the moment kind of passed for you? All right, let's move on. There's still more Taco Bell to talk about. Next up, I want to talk about some leaked images I've obtained that seem to depict some upcoming new menu items. There's a couple of different ones here and they're most likely going to start as test items, not nationwide items just yet. This first one is for something called the Cheesy Chipotle Chicken Flatbread. As you can see, the image here doesn't include a photo, but there is a description. It reads, a soft flatbread topped with grilled chicken, creamy chipotle sauce, fiesta strips, onion, and a melty 3-cheese blend. And now, without seeing a picture of this, it's hard to say exactly what it is, but it sort of sounds like a flatbread pizza, sort of like a rectangular flatbread pizza. I know last year Taco Bell released the loaded chicken flatbread taco, which was basically just a modified gordita, but that clearly had taco in the name. Nothing about the cheesy chipotle chicken flatbread or anything in the description there sounds like it's folded, like a taco. So that's why I believe this would be more like a flatbread pizza. I don't know, I'd love to see a picture of this thing. I think it has potential to be one of the more eye-catching items in recent memory. If it really is sort of like a flatbread pizza, I'd be worried that it would be kind of difficult to eat. The flatbread will likely be pretty soft, since I don't think Taco Bell has any way to toast it. It says that the cheese is melted, and usually the way that Taco Bell melts the cheese is in a steamer. So the flatbread will likely be very soft when you get it. So you won't be able to hold it up like a pizza. You may end up having to fold it like a taco. And at that point, I guess you're just kind of eating a long taco. I guess that actually sounds pretty good. So yeah, I'm very excited to get a glimpse of this thing, the cheesy chipotle chicken flatbread. It's just a rumor based on this leaked image right now, but I would guess that it'll probably start testing later this month. Keep an eye out and let me know if you see it testing anywhere. Alright, like I said, there is another leaked image I've obtained. This one is not quite as mysterious, but does still come with some big questions. It's the plant-based crispy melt taco. Now, this is of course simply a variation of an item that's been previously released. Crispy melt tacos were released nationwide last year. They're basically a taco with a white corn tortilla shell. That shell is fried in the store, and then it has a layer of cheese beneath the meat. The part that makes this new is the plant-based part. Taco Bell has previously tested plant-based meat elsewhere, but the mysterious part here is which plant-based meat this will be included in the crispy melt taco. Taco Bell is working on a couple of different plant-based proteins. So far, they've only rolled out tests for their in-house plant-based protein. Meaning that's the one that they are developing in-house. They're not partnering with any other brands. However, they also have announced a partnership with the Beyond Meat brand to create a different plant-based protein. That one hasn't made it out of the test kitchen yet, meaning they haven't tested it out in the wild. Could this plant-based crispy melt taco be our first look at the Taco Bell Beyond Meat protein? I'd say it's possible. That partnership was announced a while ago, like a year ago or longer, and we've yet to see or hear anything since then. Taco Bell was actually asked about 6 months ago whether the partnership was canceled because no one had heard anything since then, since the original announcement. Taco Bell said no, the partnership is still moving forward. So hopefully this could be our first look and first taste of the Taco Bell Beyond Meat taco filling. I'd be excited. I don't know what Taco Bell's in-house protein tastes like, but I would trust that Beyond Meat has much more experience and would be able to create something better than Taco Bell's in-house team. Even though Beyond Meat does seem to have botched their collaboration with McDonald's on the McPlant. That was recently announced by McDonald's to have been killed off for good. They canceled that test, and they're not going to be bringing that out nationwide. I actually had the McPlant, and I agree it was not good. But Beyond Meat does make the plant-based taco filling for Del Taco. And I think that protein or meat, whatever you want to call it, is superb. It's still a permanent menu item at Del Taco, and it's been on their menu for over 3 years. All right, now getting back to Taco Bell. As I mentioned earlier, both the plant-based crispy melt taco and the cheesy chipotle chicken flatbread are likely to start as test items, but we could see or hear more about them as early as later this month. Don't forget that you heard about them first here on New Fast Food. And speaking of things you heard here first, Burger King is getting closer to replacing the Chiking with the new BK Royal Crispy Chicken Sandwiches. I covered that story about 3 months ago, all the way back in May, along with my thoughts and opinions on the entire upcoming Royal Chicken Sandwich lineup. So click here to watch that video now.